Okay. Hydra is 6-9. Most of those wins are in his recent matches, not his recent 5, because you can see he's a bit shaky. LW, LWL, but the problem here is his record versus Protoss, and that's why I don't know if he can actually do this. And if he wins here, can he beat Rain 2 games in a row? It would take a miracle. It's possible. But boy, am I scared for him, man.
He has the experience. You know, you can see him in the booth. He's got his shoulders a little hunched down like he's trying to carry the team on his shoulders, because that's exactly what he's trying to do here. But if there is a guy who has an experience on this team, you know, maybe besides effort, or someone like Byonger here, players who have like a lot of experience in big matches, I think it's Hydra over Hush. And he comes out and it's like, can he do this? We saw him play a very embarrassing game against Parting, where Parting actually did a donut of force fields around his Hydras, where he tried to be aggressive on, I think it was a map that got removed now.
I think it was on Yunsu, yeah.
Yeah, and now he's going up against possibly 2 Protosses. Can he do it?
It's going to be tough, maybe impossible. But CJ fans, don't stop believing, because we've seen crazier things happen. Effort winning against Maru was a more, bigger upset than this could ever be. It's time for Classic versus Hydra, and what could be the deciding match here of the Round 3 finals.
Down here in the bottom right in the orange for SK Telecom, it is Classic.
Also in yellow in that New Jersey. Up against a player, ironically, in yellow for CJ Entis. Over here at the top left, it's Hydra. That's a cool drawing. Looks like...
What is that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah? All right.
All right, that font's really hard to read.
No, I get it. Something about, like...
You're going to do something especially for her, I think, is what it was trying to say.
It all depends on you or something.
Sorry, I couldn't really quite read it, but that font, like... I'm really good at reading, like, the font that's on my Samsung phone, like, but otherwise, like, when it comes to Korean that's, like, written on a Samsung, I'm like, give me a minute, like, I'll get this.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Hanja or Chinese, though. Like, I'm, like, totally clueless.
Oh, boy.
So, going into this one, do you think he's going to actually do cannons, or is he just going to Nexus first?
I think he'll go cannons.
Okay. Looks like it.
There we go. We're seeing Hydra send out a very early drone scout, so he's going to see this coming. And
could even offensive hatch.
Yeah,
it's possible.
That is something he could do.
It is possible, but he has a second drone coming towards his own natural, so I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to he does it, and he does it to block the ramp.
Huh.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a very unique game. I'll tell you guys that right now. This is the way to maybe beat somebody like Classic, because I don't think Hydra's doing it with a 3-base timing like he normally does. Drone actually doesn't get blocked here.
I think Classic almost wants that to go down.
Let's see how he wants to play this. Okay, so now he's going to block it, but the pool is already there. 2 cannons already started back at home. Will they be able to deny the Evo block? Okay, he's sending drones down here to stop this pylon. He really wants to get the hatch up at home, so this might actually just be a cancel. The fact that he's pulled this many drones here. Is he actually going to cannon this? That would be crazy. He doesn't have enough money yet. Or no, he does. I was looking at the wrong production tab. Oh, gateway blocks. Yeah, this hatch is not happening.
Yeah.
This hatch actually is not happening either. He's definitely going to cancel that.
No hatches on this map right now are happening anytime
soon. No hatches are happening, man. I don't think he's
Hatches are not in season, Wolf.
The hatches are out. Okay. Don't let me catch you dead with a hatch.
Oh, this Classic is blocking the 3rd base as well.
This is a disaster for Hydra. The hatchery, by the way, we've got to take a look at that. Is he going to... He actually lets it finish.
Yeah, finishes back there, and it does get killed.
So, is he even going to get the probe? No, I don't think so. Off creep? Nope. And that Zergling egg is not really going to It might maybe get in the main base. He's got the probes ready to block it. Nope.
Oh my god.
This is a disaster for Hydra. He has denied the base for quite some time, but with a gate block at his nat, that's going to take forever to kill. He has no lings to kill that because they're working over here. Oh, he's going to gate block
it. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh, it does get. No, it doesn't. It goes down. Oh my god.
Hydra might want to just consider taking a gas right now and doing some one base play or something, man. I don't know.
That or like take the fourth life.
Is he gonna block again? No way. No, he's like thinking about it. He's like, no, that's a bit too much.
He's just like teasing Hydra. He's like, I still got my probe alive. It'd be funny if he makes a pylon to power that.
Nah, he won't do it. But it would be pretty crazy. Core is only just now being started. Because of his late gate, he couldn't have core blocked. Core blocking, for those of you guys who are new to this sort of style in StarCraft 2 or have never seen this before, normally you block with a Cybernetics core if you can, because it's the same cost as a gateway, but it has 100 more hit points, 50 more shields and 50 more actual hit points. So he couldn't quite get that off. He would have liked to, but it wasn't ready in time. Now,
that pro just wanted to go over there and make sure there was no fourth base going on.
Actually, I wonder how bad this really is for Hydra, because he did deny the hatchery, or rather the Nexus, for a while. That's a lot of minerals spent. That's 300 minerals spent on the gateway, so that equals the hatchery, which then also had to force 2 cannons, and a lot of lost mining time to block the Zerglings, plus the lost mining time of that probe that was hanging around. Like, for a bit, I was feeling like, oh my god, this is like unwinnable for Hydra. There's no way he's going to come back. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's actually pretty okay for Hydra. He's not in a good place. And he's missing a lot of larva, but he's not dead yet by any means. He's actually ahead in supply and is starting to drone up quite heavily to saturate those 2 bases.
Yeah. It's going to be a while before the creep spread gets between all these bases, which is why we see the Stargate here, I think, at a Classic. He's probably going to want to go Phoenixes if I were to guess.
He could even go Oracle too. That would be pretty good against the lack of creep spread.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a queen over at that base for a while, and if there's only one and he's able to get a zealot or 2 over there, or even if he gets a pylon up here and goes into 4 gates, that could be deadly. If Hydra loses that base, that's already so delayed. I mean, look at the worker count, 36 to 33. That's going to be game ending. So he's going to come over here. He's going to see that queen that popped out. And no queens are able to walk over there for a long time. He's not cutting corners. Makes 3 spore crawlers. Let's see if he adds any gates. I don't think so. I think he would have already. I think he's going to go into the 3rd base here.
Yeah. This Overlord back there, it did see the Stargate, did see the Oracle pop out, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why we see the spore crawlers. That is why he's going to be prepared for this. We're seeing continuous drones coming out, even on the next larva that comes out here. We got the Zergling speed as well as the robotics back at Classics Bay.
Yeah, base, yeah.
Yeah, not his bay.
Not his bay. Well, this is not going to get a whole lot done. 2 kills. You can only hope for 4 if there's no spore crawlers, but if there's a spore crawler, you basically get that cut in half. So there's that 3rd base I was talking about. Now, I really want to see production tab. Okay, he's not researching +1. Goes into robotic support bay to hold the 3rd. Oh, he could hallucinate and then kill this if it gets out of vision. In fact, I think he still has vision no matter what, so that's a nice pick off.
Yep. Could see it with the sensory up there on the high ground in his base. Now this Oracle just chilling.
Yeah, Oracle's chilling. He's going to come in and scout later, maybe tag, maybe defend Zergling run-bys, or even clean up watchtowers. He's got a lot of different potential. Now this is here to scout the bay. If he gets that scout off, that's important for him because he's going to know that, you know what, he's got his bay done before my Hydralisk Den. Probably not going to get any direct damage done with those Hydras on this map if that's the case.
Yeah. Starts his +1 to range units there, Hydra does. Hallucinated Phoenix pokes that little Overseer for a while, but the Overseer is going to get into the main base. And now we're seeing the Void Rays pop out here a bunch at a time. Got Colossus as well, so we're going to see this big Death Ball kind of style coming out of Classic.
Great for the map.
Base. Yep.
And I feel like Classic needs to identify the problem that he's up against, and he needs to either go Swarm Host here, which it looks like he's going to do because he's got that fast Devastation Pit, or maybe even really try to get some Mutalisks out and control the map that way while he takes a 4th base, because Hydralisks are no longer going to cut it. Hydra has built almost his entire StarCraft 2 career off of Hydralisk timings, but it's not going to fly on this game.
No. Makes only 6 for now, and there's that Spire you were talking about for possible Mutalisks on the way.
And with the timing of that, I think he's more geared towards Corruptors because I think with that Overseer Scout, he's like, oh, I'm going to really need to deal with these because he might actually just kill me with his Colossus attack if I'm not ready for this, because my 4th base is up a little bit late. Don't have that extra larva. Goes into Hive, too. Okay, so could try to go Hydras with Vipers and have some Corruptors, too. He's really got a lot of different options unlocked here now with this tech path.
Yeah, going quick into Hive. We're seeing Classic add 2 extra Stargates here. Of course, you're going to want that for the very fast Void Ray production there. Possibly Tempest later on if we do see Broodlords.
Yeah, or even possibly Mutalisk should a Mutalisk switch arise, or rather for Phoenixes to be produced for the Mutalisk. So there's the increased lifetime for the Locust, the Enduring Locust upgrade. Hydro speed is being researched, so he's definitely going to be sticking on those for a little bit longer. Might as well with how many he's already produced. I think he's probably gone up to like 14 or so, I would guess, based on just what I've looked at. I mean, just looking at this group right here, it's like about 14 or so. Getting Overlord speed. He's really just getting all the upgrades, which is expensive, but the map is big enough to where it's not like Classic is going to come across the map and kill him. There's no vulnerable moment where, you know, it's like, oh, well, because he got Overlord speed, he died. So I like that he's just covering all his bases here.
It's a big map. He's scouted what Classic's trying to do with this big Deathball army. He knows there's not going to be a huge attack coming his way, so he's just trying to get everything, trying to get a cancel and prepare for the late game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take that 5th base in the middle either.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, in fact, Classic take that 4th base pretty soon with this army. Actually, or maybe not, with 6 gates being added right now. He might be saying, oh, you don't have enough Corruptors for my Void Rays and my Colossi. I'm just going to warp in a ton of Stalkers with this bank I'm going to build on these 3 bases right now. He's got 70 probes.
There's
Templar Archives.
Hydra.
Yeah.
The Swarm Host to defend. Now that Overseer with the Overseer speed, or Overlord speed, does get in the main base, sees the Stargates, all the gateways, the Twilight Council, Templar Archive. So Hydra knows exactly what Classic is going for here in his main base.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens next here. He's up to 81 drones, and that's going to give him a great economy with that 5th base if he can actually hold on to that. +1 for Void Rays is done. Warp Prism's coming out. He's getting a few more High Templar to make into Archons, it appears to be, because doesn't have Storm. Okay, there it is. The one thing that's really important to note that I feel has been kind of a mistake for Classic, you might argue, is his +2 seems to be a bit late. He did get a late Templar Archive with the build because he was using most of his gas for Void Rays, but that hurts him a little bit against the +2 armor that's now being started, as well as the +2 attack is going to finish much faster here for these Locusts coming out of Hydra.
Yeah, we're seeing Classic now move out on the map with this army. Looks like there's about 4 Colossi in there, maybe 5 Void Rays. Pretty strong army. It's not maxed out just yet. He's going for the 4th base as well as a drop. It looks like with that War Prism going along the left side of the map while this is going on. So he's trying to put on some pressure while he takes his 4th base. I like it. Wants to try to deny Hydra scouting at this 5th base for a long time. Could definitely just focus that down, and that's exactly what he does.
He's just going to focus it down, forces those Locusts back. Void Ray gets caught here. Might actually be able to fly those to the left side. Those force fields, he actually escapes with them. And now he recalls, saving every single unit. Zealot drop over here. Oh my god, that's more static defense I've ever seen Startail Curious make. Like, that's 4 Spores and 3 Spines. Wow.
He's not messing around, man. Hydra is playing like super solid, you know, like very slow building, and he's getting everything now. And he's saying like, I am not going to die to your drops. I know this is going to happen as we hit late game. You're not going to drop me. Well, as I say that, I look at his main base. I'm like, well, there's nothing here. He has his natural cover, but not his main.
Main base definitely not covered. I think maybe he had some more Hydras back here earlier before he was out on the map, so that's why he was neglecting this. But good stop position micro on the drones, actually blocking some of those Zealots, and most of these Zealots actually just go down for free against the Hydras. So a solid defense, but this does bring the Hydras back, leaving these Swarmos a bit exposed. Does he have an Observer here? That's the question. I think he does. I just can't see it with my eye. I know he has, actually, no, he has no Observers on the map.
Wow.
That doesn't mean he can't kill them, because Storms are pretty good, and also the splash damage of the Colossi will still kill them. But he also doesn't know there's no Observer.
No. Classic now is thinking about going towards that 4th base, but I don't think he wants to go that far on creep. I'd really like to see an Observer to start clearing some of this creep out here. Hydra usually not one of the best Zergs at spreading his creep, but this game it's okay. It's not super thick, but it's out there on the map, starting to get out there.
Yeah. Now, you know, with this army that he's built, looks like he wants to even make a few more probes. He goes up to 72. And with a fourth base of 72, that's basically perfect saturation on all your bases. And as soon as the main runs out, he can even further saturate and then get a fifth. But it's going to be hard for either of these players to kill each other for a while. And I think we might see the Fleet Beacon pop up here pretty soon, so you can start getting some of those Tempests out to help control the sky and poke. You got to be careful against these Infestors, because we've said it before, this is the best way to respect the Void Ray, man. Just put a fungal right in its face.
Yeah, and if you can chain those, and you've got Hydras on the map as well, and you get a good position with those that are actually attacking the fungal units, usually it's pretty hard to do that, but if you can do that, you can wipe out that Protoss army.
Yeah, oh my god, look at all these Spore Crawlers, dude. Oh my goodness.
This is how you play the map, late game ZVT, or ZVP on this map. You get a ton of creep out there, you get a ton of static defense, you take it late game, you get all your tech, and we're seeing that happen for Hydra.
Yep. Well, 9 of them in total. It cost him actually a few of his drones, which is okay for him right now because it lets him build a bigger army. Look at the army split at the top right, 128 to 111. This Warp Prism is not long for this world. The Viper can even secure the kill. Oh, what? I guess he's pretty scared about this situation. But that's what these are for, because he doesn't want this base to get sniped. The recall needs to happen now, though. Actually, you know what? With no Hydras here,
Viper gets sniped as well, and now these Voiders are going to trade pretty decently. A Fungal only hits one, gets another one here.
Oh, that was really scary. That was the concern. I was like, there's no Hydras, there's no Infestors. Okay, maybe he can fight the Corruptors, but if he doesn't have those, and that's gonna, he can fight them. So Zealot Harass over here is not getting anything done.
No, it's way too many spines. He's got like 7 or 8 over there, man.
This is what happens sometimes on this map, is there's a passive Protoss player who's just like, well, I'm just gonna play a late game, I'm not gonna attack you, not gonna punish you. Then suddenly you have all this extra bank to make these static defenses with. If you're constantly attacking and constantly harassing the whole game, then it's hard for the Zerg player to actually make those static defenses because he has to spend his bank on making units to defend and trading.
There's that Fleet Beacon. We're seeing it come up now, as well as 5 more gateways here as we have these players do get maxed out. These Infestors are way out of position, but he gets a nice fungal.
Oh, but he needs more than that. Feedback's going down here as well, and uh-oh. Suddenly the backbone of this army for Hydra gets pushed back. Void Ray is relatively unscathed here, and that Spore Crawler wall is the only thing that's really keeping him alive right now. He's going to come over here and actually try to pick off this base. Would be huge if he can get it. Needs to get a good angle with those Corruptors, and there's a Storm on them as well. Classic in a great spot here to continue to push this fight.
5 Infestors on the production tab, as well as 12 Colossi, but I'm not sure if it's enough. The Locust from behind, but the Void Rays remain in the sky with nothing to kill him much.
Yeah, I mean, if you rely on Corruptors to kill Void Rays, you're making a mistake. If you have synergy with the Infestors, that's something else, but he lost those Infestors, and this could actually cost him the game. This could actually cost CJ their finals here. 14 Corruptors about to pop out, but they're not ready yet, and this army is getting closer and closer now to those Swarm hosts, and he just needs vision. He just needs to get vision, and oh, they unroot. One of them goes down, a second likely to fall as well. It does go down.
And finally, that Observer is with the army. A nice fungal goes down. He has remade those Infestors, and a nice fungal on the entire army, but is it enough?
Transfuse is going down here, helping out those Corruptors, and maybe is it enough with a few more Corruptors coming in? No, it doesn't look like it is. The Corruptors do fall, but does he have enough Locusts to maybe push back the Colossi with this many Warped and Stalkers? I think the answer is no.
He unburrows these, and they go back and take so many losses. Now we see Hydra's supply fall to about 100. The Stalkers, there's just way too many gateways, and now the Infestors go down for free.
They go down for free. Another snipe there on that Corruptor. And Hydra knows that this is bad news. He keeps his 5th base alive, or rather his 4th base, excuse me. His 5th is definitely dead. His 4th base is still up, still has static defense, but doesn't look like Classic is too concerned about that because most of the static defense here are actually in Spores, which aren't going to do a whole lot against Stalkers unless they blink into the sky.
No, definitely not much. And we're seeing a giant ball now of Protoss be on the front step of this Zerg. Gonna start roasting all those drones. That 4th base is all alone with nothing to protect it. There's the GG. And SK Telecom wins with Classic taking his 2nd game in a row, taking down Byung, taking down Hydra, and they are the champions of round 3.
Very, very well done here by SKT. You know, most people, I think, would also agree that the parting choice was a bit questionable. But, you know, when you've got this much flexibility, you get an early lead, and you have such a great team of amazing players, things can get out of hand very, very quickly. And especially when you have to rely on Byung and Heroes so early. this is a problem, right? And then they have to rely on a fourth player that just isn't as strong as the others. Hydra is a good player, but he's not on the level of Classic right now. He is getting better. He played a great final game. But this round 3 has been all about SKT. They were on top the entire time before playoffs and then just crushed it here in the end.
They've done it, man. They had so many fans, the audience backing them up. All these players have so many fans, even individually, that it's hard to not cheer for them when you're in this studio. CJ Ant is putting up a great fight. I think all the decisions that were made by Coach Park on who they took out here and who they put out against certain players on certain maps was very, very good, very strong, very good decisions. But
yeah, I mean, a solid choices, really cool builds for the maps. Even Hydra's build in that last game, blocking with the hatchery, was pretty cool. Like to see stuff like that. Well, here are results. Sulky and was able to win 2 games, and then he ended up losing to Byung, who wins 2 himself. But Classic closes it out in Maze and Sejong Station against Byung and Hydra. We don't see our final set. The only time, in fact, this playoff round where we do not see a Game 7.
Yep. Sulky playing a great game against Hero, even against Effort, that 9-pool, just from the beginning. Sulky taking really 2 key games, especially against Hero, taking him out early. Byung looked like he may have been able to do it, but Classic shut the door.